Hey guys, welcome back to Pure South Pastures. So glad you joined me today. I was out moving cows this morning and opening up a new section of paddock for them, and I thought I'd just do a quick herd update. Haven't done that in a little while, and obviously coming through winter has its challenges, and there's some nuances with that. So we're knocking on the door of spring. So here we come. Excited for grass to grow, and it's grass growing weather here in Central Arkansas today. It's windy, sunny, 50 degrees. It's been about 70 degrees during the day, and it's just it's good grass growing, especially cool season grass. Good grass growing weather. So hopefully we'll have some of that happening soon. But I'll just show you some of the herd today, some of the things that we've challenges we faced this winter, how our grazing process is going, grazing stockpile, and yeah, we'll just talk about that. We'll probably get over to the sheep too. Get a little bit of Knox. Knox, the guard dog, is doing great. I want you to kind of be able to see how he's doing. And yeah, things are going pretty good. So let's check it out. One of the major things that's happened recently is we started having, if you followed the channel anytime at all, we've added some Corriente cattle to our herd. And the goal in that was just a cash flow project, that the Corrientes would be cash flow for, so that we could hold back heifers from our other herd and build the genetics that we really wanted to build. So needed to have some calves to sell. So we bought some cheaper cows, some Corrientes, which they're cheaper, but I love so many things about them. And so we started having their calves. They were bred heifers when we bought them, and they were bred to straight Corriente bull. And so this is the product. You're seeing number 15 right there. Product of the Corrientes who came on the farm bred. Here's one of them coming right here. So some people don't like Corrientes, but you got to be able to look through maybe some of the things that the market doesn't necessarily like, and see some of the good qualities. They're very fertile. Seem to be, even though they're not real beefy like you want a beef cow to be, they just offer a lot of qualities. They good eyes, good feet, good udders. That one over there just bit the top off of a long mature piece of broom sedge, so they kind of forage like goats in a little bit. They just eat stuff that maybe your normal beef cow wouldn't eat. So just a lot of things I like about them. Maybe some characteristics that as we put the bull, you can't see because that black cow's in the way right now, but our South Pole bulls, we put our South Pole bull on them this year. Those calves may have some of those really good qualities along with the South Pole qualities, and just think it'd be pretty awesome. But the whole goal in purchasing those was just to sell the calves, just for cash flow. And so we'll be doing that later this year as they grow out. Probably sell them to people who want to use them for roping. So anyway, we've had 3 of those. You can see the cows they're grazing stockpile. Look right here. This is just the remainder of what was from where they've been, and this was like really overgrown. You can see lots of dog fennel stems standing up, stuff that's really tall, woody stuff. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go down here in just a little while, and I want to show you some of that woody stuff. I guess it's the Corrientes. I don't know, but they have just, it's like little immature trees, and they just bitten the tops out of them, just eating them, eating not just the bark, but eating the whole stems. Hey girl. One of our heifers here. She at one point, that little heifer right there, you can see her tail, the switch, the end of it is kind of thin. At one time, I don't know if somebody stepped on it and it just was just kind of messed up, or her tail just had a blunt end on it, didn't have the hair at the end, or if that was like a fescue issue, some kind of forage issue that caused that. Anyway, she's starting to grow it back. So you can see here the amount of forage that's here. Let me back out a little bit. The amount of forage that's here is, there's quite a bit of stuff here. I always like to pull it and smell it. It doesn't smell rotten. Maybe down in there a little bit. Here in Arkansas, we have a lot of moisture, have a lot of humidity. A lot of, even in the wintertime, lots of rain. We had a couple of ice snowstorms this year. One of them had about 6 to 8 inches of snow. So, yeah, so that can hurt your stockpiled forage, can create issues for you. You can see how they're stacked in here into this little area that I just gave them. It's they just pile in. Look at this right here. Get my shadow out of the picture, but I mean, this is just old woody stuff. She's digging under to get something under there. You can see here that, I mean, this was just overgrown. That's what we did. We let it grow. This soil has been bankrupt, as you can tell by all the broom sedge. But there's a lot of grass. There's a lot of biomass forage there on the ground that they're going after. And you can see that, so you're looking at, you know, they're going after all that right there, and this is where the line was right here yesterday. The line was right there, and you can just see there's just from a ground level, there's just very little left. They leave a little bit of residual, but even, look at this. Because of the Corrientes, even the broom sedge is nipped off. And they put a hurting on it. All this broom sedge right here has got a flat end on it where they've nipped it off. Look at that. Pretty crazy. So the Corrientes bring something special to the land. One of the things that I'm not crazy about is they know they have horns, and they're never aggressive with me, but they get aggressive with the other cows, and they kind of, you know, they're establishing dominance. It's just what animals do. But yeah, I'm just not crazy about it, especially when we're feeding protein. The only way that our cattle could I don't want to rehash everything I talked about before, but somebody's watching and they're new, I have to kind of catch up. But the only way that these cattle could process this forage is for us to provide protein. So this is predominantly Bermuda and weeds and stuff, and it just falls off really bad. Carpet grass, it just falls off really bad on nutrient quality when, you know, after it dies and goes through the winter. And so we have to provide some protein in the form of soybean meal. It's what we choose to do, so that their rumen can process it. This cow right here is not doing really well. Get my finger reading. Not the one in front here, but the one right behind her. She's a really old cow. She's not doing great through the winter. She's lost quite a bit of weight. And you know, this kind of grazing, it just shows you who can stay in the herd and who can't. And so you're culling for the ability to work. Do they have their working genes on? You know, they're able to come every day, and you know, we don't have to pamper them, but they can keep weight on and make it through the winter and have a baby and feed that baby with less than ideal conditions. So that's what we're trying to do. And it's going to take a lot of processing through and culling and working through the animals. So someone might ask why we choose to graze stockpile instead of feeding hay. And there are benefits to feeding hay. You know, in the past, when we have fed hay, we have brought it from other farms, purchased it, brought it here and rolled it out. I don't have a hay unroller. I just put it on a small trailer, and I have a video on that where I just unroll it by hand. Works okay. And you're putting carbon back on the soil, bringing nutrients from somebody else's farm, putting it on your land. So I'm all for that. But hay also is the number one expense for our farm, or, you know, winter feeding is. So taking care of the animals in the wintertime. So if you can grow your forage, let it stockpile, not graze an area of it for a part of the year, and then come back and graze that during the winter, it's a huge savings. Even though you do have to supplement with the protein, the cost still isn't anything like it would be if we were rolling out bales of hay every day. So especially as the herd grows, obviously your feeding expense grows. It's just part of it. So that's why we do it. It's a bottom line issue. It also is good for the soil to have areas that you allow to stockpile. They grow for the whole grazing season as long as you don't get into drought and have to take it during that time. Your roots having time to grow deeper, your soil having time to rest while that grass grows, or the forages grow throughout the grazing season. It really is beneficial. And then you flip flop it and you graze that area the next year, and you let the area that you grazed the year before grow as stockpile. So it gives your farm seasons of rest every year, areas of your farm, and so that's one of the benefits as well. We're slightly adhering to, probably doing our own version of Jim Elizondo's total grazing system. Haven't bought into it in the sense of I haven't paid anything for it. I just have gleaned a lot online and picked up pieces of it. And for a couple of months, I joined one of the video deals that he has for like $50 a month or whatever. Took that content in, and have just applied the principles in ways that work in our context. And I think that's key, just making it work in your system and in your context and in your environment. So this is what I wanted you to see. This is a sapling tree, and I came down here the other day to move the fence, and this was in the paddock that they had just been in, and I guess it's a Corriente. It could have been any of them. Came along and just nipped off the whole. I mean, there's no evidence down here at my feet of the tree being here, so they nipped it off and were eating the whole thing. So pretty interesting. I was listening to a Working Cows podcast just today, and they were talking about animals having, or ruminants having the ability to take this kind of fiber, like a dense fiber like this, and process it in a way that, like you or I our bodies can't do that. But because of their rumen, and when the rumen is functioning well, they can do that. So actually turn this into sugar. So that's pretty cool. Or turn it into energy. So pretty cool stuff. I love seeing that. Oh, here's another one right here. I don't know if I saw that the other day. And it's not just a one-off. This plant right here is the same thing. It's and maybe you've seen that before. I just have never seen it. So kind of interesting. Because I'm wearing a mic, so that because of the wind noise today, I'm not sure if you can hear the frogs. There's kind of a frog pond over here, just a place that holds water. Not sure if you can hear the frogs, but it sounds pretty cool. And it says to me, this is spring coming on. I'm ready for it. Those eggs. Pretty cool. This bottom is soupy. This old frog pond down here, and been wearing these woven pack boots from TrueDave.com. Anyway, they sent them to me to try out. They're working pretty good. It's weird. What is that? Crazy looking. Anyway, these boots are comfortable, keep my feet dry. Here's another one that they bit off. It's pretty awesome. Bit every limb off of that, bit that one completely off right there. Another great thing about that is it's great brush control. So if they're doing that, here's another one right here that they ate completely down. So it's good brush control, pretty awesome. I'm thankful to have animals that'll do that. Something that's cool, I thought was pretty crazy. Just a week ago we had freezing temps, bad weather, ice and snow, and yesterday I put my boot through a cow patty, and there was 2 big dung beetles in it. So I thought that was exciting. This farm saw a huge increase in dung beetle activity last year. We're pretty adamant that unless something's just completely out of control, we're not going to spray or use pour-ons on our animals. Now, if we had to save something and something was really just going downhill, we probably would, but that would also be a an opportunity to make note of something that we needed to cull out of the herd. So thought that was exciting. Hopefully we'll see some more dung beetle activity as spring comes on. So that's the calf you saw just a few minutes ago. This was the first calf that we had. It's a little bull calf. He's a good looking calf, got lots of energy. Obviously getting what it needs from his mama. It's running around, very playful. That's what we want to see in a calf. Ooh, got cows pushing behind me. This is an old fertile cow we've had for a long time, and she'll give us a good baby every year. Cute little calf. I think this cow right here is gonna be next. She's backing up. She's a heifer currently. I don't think it'll be long till she has one. Here's some of our South Pole babies here. Most of these calves were born in July. Maybe a few of them a little earlier than that. This little heifer right here is a dink. She's way too small for her age. So she'll be culled. Interesting to see how that plays out. If you've ever had just a super, super small calf, that's kind of a runt, give me some feedback on that. How often do you see that? What was the issue there? That's the cat. That calf's her mom had to put her down this year. So the first cow I've put down in quite a while. She was old, but she also had other issues. I'm not exactly sure what all of it was, but she hadn't been healthy for quite a while. And so maybe it was just maybe she wasn't getting what she needed from her mama because her mama wasn't healthy. I'm not sure. Or is that more of a genetic thing? If you have any input, let me know. Drop a comment below. So, this time of year, everything looks fuzzy, and so they're not quite as showy. Look at that joker, man. It's like a woolly mammoth. That's good, though. You can stay warm in the cold wintertime when temps feel like zero, which only happens a couple times every couple of years in Arkansas. Look how they pile in there. I like that density. She just had a calf. Number 16 is her calf. Looks to me like this heifer right here is about to have a calf. It'll be coming on soon. So one of the drawbacks or issues or failures this winter is what you see right behind me, right there. So this was a lane. It was about 10 steps wide. The water is right here. We've now come to the corner, so they're grazing straight down the lane, but this did come, so hopefully I can make this be clear. This came right here, and then the lane turned, so they would use this as a lane because we were grazing back over there, and they would come to water here, so I wasn't moving water every day. It just was the way it needed to work, and so we made this lane something that they pretty much were walking on every day, and because of that, we had some days when it got heavy rains, just days and days and days of moisture, and so what it does is it just creates a place where you get more impact really than you want. So we'll see the outflow of that this year. Impact is good, but a lot of times, that what that does is kind of gives weeds an advantage, and they kind of set in to heal the soil, to cover the soil, and then you get just a big pile of weeds. You can see the line here, and there was a line that was going down this way as well, and so they would turn and come up here for water every day and then go back and graze wherever they were grazing. So that's how it was, and there actually was a mineral feeder right here in the lane. You can see where it sat, and they just tore the ground up around it really bad. So contemplated bringing seed down here. I'm actually testing some seed at the house right now to see if it'll germinate. It's a couple years old, but I wanted to test it before I went to a lot of trouble putting it out, and just see if I could get it to germinate, in a controlled environment. So that's some Kentucky 31 and some red clover, and I've got several other, I got some winter wheat, other things that I could throw down. But so you can see the impact here, and that being a low area down there didn't help anything, but then they just use this lane so much that, when I'd come out here, it was a kind of a community area, and they would just be laying on this lane. All right, here's the sheep herd flock. They're not wanting me to get too close, but that's okay. They're doing great. Wintertime. Come here, Knox. Come here, buddy. Don't be camera shy. Come here. If the sheep think they're going to get a treat, they'll come. Look, Knox, he can't be too personal. Come here, buddy. Come on, Knox. Come on, bud. Come here, bud. Come on. You want to go through that water? I'll get him. Hey, sheep. Hey, sheep. Hey, you old thing. Ah, Knox. How are you, buddy? Hey, sheep. I don't know if you've ever been around sheep. Many of you probably have. They are interesting animals. Some of them, like this one, she's always open, ready for a head rub. That one right there won't let me watch it. It's interested, but see, it just always does that. It's crazy. But we haven't, except for in the snow, we haven't fed anything to the sheep this year. I get a little treat every now and then for protein. But other than that, they're just making it. I'm so proud of him. So proud of him. I really like the tracker that I've got on him. I think it's called Tractive. Pretty much any time of the day I can check and see where he's at. Normally I know where the sheep are because I can check where he's at. You can do a history heat map and see where he spent the most time in the last 24 hours, or you can set the time up and the amount of hours that you're looking at. It'll give you a heat map of it, where he's at. So he's down here in the corner just hanging out with them. They're doing their thing. It's funny how that ewe right there, she's a ewe lamb, she was born tan, and she kind of evened out. This thing right here. Hey, what do you say? What do you think about it? Most of them won't let you touch them. They don't want you close to them. That's okay. That's the way that they protect themselves. So, hey, you're being a nuisance. You know what? You're being a nuisance. Sheep. Hi, buddy. Hi, bud. Don't want me giving too much attention to that sheep, do you? No, sir. Knox is a powerful story of just persistence with animals. He was bound and determined that he wasn't going to stay on this farm. He didn't like it here, didn't want it here, brought him from Missouri. He left this place. Was gone 8 days, was miles away. And then we brought him home, and through a series of intentional things, ways that I kept him from running off. I won't go into all that right now, but just some different tools that I learned. You just kept him around the sheep. Before long, he was completely attached to them, and now this is his family, and he knows his job, and his job is to protect these girls. He's doing a good job of it. Good job, buddy. Attaboy, man. Been working all night. Now it's time to soak up the sun and sleep all day, huh? Yes, sir. So that, my friends, is just a little bit of progress update from the winter here at Pure South Pastures. Not much, not a whole lot to tell you about. There's always something. Today, water lines need to be fixed because we had a few places where water line broke in the bad weather. We got a place for the electric fence. I guess a deer's taken down the electric fence on the top wire, and it's down off several posts. So I got to put it back up. I don't even know if I can get to either one of those today because Scout, my son, is competing in fine arts today. He's going to be in several different categories where he's just using the gifts that God's put in his life and competing and growing in those areas. So we'll go check that out this afternoon, watch a bunch of students from our church competing in that as well. I think we got 26 different events that different students are competing in today. So that's going to be great, and just excited to see them grow. So I don't know how much more time I'm going to be able to be out here today. Maybe I can get a few things done, and I'm going to go watch some students doing what they do best and enjoy some time with the family. So God bless you guys. Hope you'll continue to follow along in our journey here on YouTube. And if you can help me by subscribing, if you haven't already, it doesn't cost you anything, very easy to do. You can hit like. If you can share it with somebody that might want to watch this, drop some comments, some questions. Tell me what we're doing wrong. How can we make it better? We receive and appreciate all those things. So God bless you guys. Hope you have a great one. We'll see you on the next video.